What's up, guys? It's David back at it here for another video today. And in today's video, I want to talk about the topic of insanity, what it means. And I think the best way to put it is by going to a very well-known and famous quote said by none other than Albert Einstein. I'm sure all of us know who Albert Einstein is, and if you haven't, well, Google him. Might might figure something out, So anyways, yeah, so this quote was, "The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result." And I know a lot of this it's just common sense, really, when you, hear a statement like that, but how often do we actually apply this to our own lives, right? And the reason why it's so hard to apply it is because humans, the way we're hardwired in the brain, is that we're lazy. It's designed to protect us, to keep us in habits, to be on autopilot. And there's a lot of science behind all this. Of course, I'm not going to dive into that. You could look it up yourself. But basically, making change is hard. Essentially, I got to get better at pronouncing the word essentially. Sorry, I'm not going to blur this out I don't edit my videos, so this is going to be a part of it. Essentially, we don't like changing. I know that's, again, another obvious thing, but we don't think about it when we're trying to change our lives or change our results or get something different in our life. Whether it's a new job, a new business, new relationships, new people, new environment, anything, trying something different or doing something to get a different result than what you're currently getting in your life. And you can't change the outcome usually if you don't change the input and the actions you take and the things you do. So that's where the definition of insanity comes from, and I'm going to talk about a couple examples here. So in my business, of course, definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again. So a lot of things I've been doing in the past, I have not worked for me. So you got to change things up, try something different, try a new approach, strategy, try something out, because you might get a better result. You might get a worse result, but you could also get a better result. And sometimes if you're stagnant, you have to try new things. And if you're not stagnant, you're still doing well, you usually have room for experimenting. So if you want to get a different result, guess what? You got to experiment more. So another example, my body, right? Let's say I'm not too happy with my body, trying to improve it, trying to improve a certain aspect, maybe my weight, maybe my body composition, my gut health, something like that. Well, you're not going to change it by eating the same foods and taking the same supplements and doing the same exercise routine or getting the same bad sleep habits or whatever your habits might be. You're dealing with a lot of stress and anxiety. You got to fix that shit. You got to change all those things up. Maybe not all those things, but fundamentally what I'm saying is you got to do something differently and find the actions that you need to be taking to get in that direction of fixing whatever that problem is or whatever that thing you want to change or get a better result from or out of. A very simple concept, and I guess we don't usually change until we hit rock bottom usually, or, things get so bad that we can't take it anymore. It's like a threshold of how much shit or pain or procrastination we can take before we got to do something, right? And another example, of course, obvious one, is in school. We procrastinate a lot on homework or studying for exams or writing papers. That's another great example that I think all of us can relate to some extent. It's kind of, we don't get in motion, until it's the day before the test. We don't have the same urgency. We don't have that drive or incentive to change. And I guess I can talk about incentives in probably maybe the next video. I'm not going to go into it. But incentives are a way that you can combat the whole issue of not wanting to change, which is our default state of existing. We're not wired, again, to change. Our brain wants to do the lazy path, the path of least resistance, and protect us from change. Because change might signal danger, in a primal, instinctive level in the brain. But in order for us to change, again, we have to change our actions, and we don't change our actions usually unless we have some sort of stimulus or some sort of massive incentive or fear or something like that, a powerful driver that moves us to actually change something that we do or actions to change the outcomes of what we want, So yeah, I hope this helped a bit. Like incentives. Talk about it a little bit more tomorrow's video. I'll take note of that. Also, make sure that I guess this would apply to anything when you're learning something, trying to do something new. Make sure you try to seek out help or people who can help you and further you along the path and make it more efficient, effective, and easier. Although it won't necessarily be easy, but it'll be easier if you find the right information, the right people to help you along the way when you're making those changes. Helps out a lot. Just a few little tips here and there, whether it's for business, fitness, relationships, anything really that you try to do in your life. Those things can add up huge. Small things that make a huge difference. So I hope you found this video well, gave you some value. Give this video a thumbs up if you actually liked this video. Make sure you leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think about this video, and if there's any habits or things that you've been doing over and over again and not getting the results you want. And I guess with that said, you could also comment something like, as a follow-up, of something you might consider doing to change that outcome or change that action or habit to get you to the outcome you actually want instead. So that's it. Leave that comment down below for me. And make sure you subscribe to my channel if you're not subscribed already. Hit that red button. And with that said, I will see you in the next video. Peace.